You were driving without tax or insurance?
Huh?
You were driving without insurance? He was driving without insurance at top speed through the car park.
Yeah.
How many years have you been in Ireland for? 4 years. And you can't speak any English?
Little.
Esther Burke here. I'm in Castlebar. I was just up at our shop this morning, came back to the car park to get my car, was driving out of the car park when I was crashed into. There was a car coming at speed towards me and hit the right hand side of my car, damaged the wheel, damaged the engine. Now when I got out of the car, dealt with the driver of the car that had crashed into me. You know, the car was a left-hand drive with the Lithuanian registration. The driver couldn't speak English, no tax, no insurance, no NCT, and he was in the car with 3 others, and they told me they were from Newport, but later they said they were Ukrainian. Now, as I dealt with them, I have to say they were very disrespectful. When they got out of the car, they were laughing, chatting amongst themselves in a different language, kind of refusing to engage with me, very little remorse, regret for what they'd done. And you know, it just struck me really that, you know, the Irish, we went all around the world, we immigrated into America, different places, and we worked hard. And you know, I've nothing against immigrants, but I don't think I would have mocked or laughed in the face of somebody if I crashed into them or if I knocked them down. I think that's something very serious, really. And you know, respect is important wherever you are. You should keep the laws of the land that you've come to. And they were driving at a terrible speed. They left he had to brake when he saw me. Wasn't enough because he still crashed into me, but he left a 5.5 metre skid mark in the ground. I was dry, and you know, this is a car park, there's people walking around, children, young people, elderly. And there was a white line where he should have stopped. He didn't stop at it, and you know, he didn't seem to have any problem with that. Very disrespectful when it was pointed out to him. And then of course he called the guards came and took our details and so on. He said to me the insurance would pay for that. So he didn't speak about any criminal proceedings until I brought it up, whether that was to do with the insurance, no insurance, or also the careless driving. And he said, well, I would have to make a statement about that. Now, we had one feeble guard here today to deal with this situation. When my family, the family of Enoch Burke, go into court, there is a battalion of guards in the courtroom with them. Dublin, with all of its crime and its murder and its trouble, its drugs, yet they can spare a battalion of guards, 10, 12, 14 guards, to go into the courtroom when my family are in there. And my brother has refused to use the they pronoun. He's refused to bow to transgenderism. The Gardaí came to his school, arrested him, and put him in a cell in Mountjoy. And my mother and my sister were also imprisoned for calling for justice in our courts. And the Gardaí can come in droves, battalions, into that courtroom when my family are in court. We've one guard here today. Very reluctant, I would say, to do his job. When I say, you know, was that not wrong? Should they not have had insurance on their car? You know, he says, well, if you want to make a statement, well, if you want to pursue it, maybe. And that's that is very serious. It's very concerning that there's, you know, these 4 young men, you know, if they were not dealt with today, they could go again and do something much worse. And you know, we've had some terrible fatalities in the country, and even in our own county recently. This is Castlebar. We think of different towns, Ballinrobe, Clamars, and men and women who've worked hard and their lives are cut short by dangerous driving, with terrible injuries, perhaps dead. And we hear about these situations, then we don't really hear anything else. And justice should be done in all of these situations. It's very important for the health of a country. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We Irish, we travelled the world, and we worked hard, and we were respectful, and we were thankful for every bit of charity that we got. But I'm here today in the busiest car park in Castlebar, and there's a car coming towards me at speed. And then when they get out, they're laughing and gesturing. And I'm shook. I would have to say now, It was a shocking experience, and if it was an older person, I'd say I'd be above in the hospital now getting treatment. What has happened here today is just not acceptable.